Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a special guest today and her name is Alex. Hi! So she's a talented makeup artist that we've met online and previously collaborated with. And yeah, she's actually one of the first makeup artists that's done my face. And I'm absolutely in love. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I will link Alex's socials down below. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Hey!
Hey guys, it's Alex here now. So basically what I've done first of all is cleansed Theresa's face with micellar water, and now as you can see here, I've started massaging moisturizer all over her face just to make sure that every part of her face is well moisturized, which I think is the biggest key in terms of skin prep for makeup application.
So we're just going to quickly talk both on here on why we both think this is really important. So with my concern and how I apply makeup, I just think if you have dry or oily skin, either way, they both need a required prep work just to make sure the exact and correct foundation can be applied to your skin. So Alex is just going to quickly explain as well as why she thinks that.
So basically everyone's skin type is different, so you really need to make sure that you're targeting and making a custom skincare application for your clients. I think that's quite important, and also, to be honest, like hydration's key no matter what skin type you are. So if you're like oily, still like keep the skin nice, so that way the skin is not more oilier. And then obviously if you're dry, you don't want it to be flaky, so moisturizing is definitely the biggest key to making sure that nothing sort of like comes off by the end of the day or throughout the day especially.
So what really intrigues me is that the way Alex applies this strobe cream to my face is a little bit different to how I do it. I like that she uses her hands a lot to make sure it melts into my skin. So she'll also explain why she does that as well and how she applies foundation to my face.
So the reason why I've actually done that with the strobe cream is basically I want the glow to come through Theresa's skin, not like make it sort of artificial glow, if that makes sense. I really want her skin to be like, oh, she's actually glowing like naturally, instead of like, oh, she's definitely put on like a highlighter or illuminator on her skin. So the biggest key for me when it comes to makeup application is definitely just making everything seem seamless but also like natural, and that like it's them who's glowing, not the makeup itself.
So pretty much she just wants to explain that she wants skin to look like skin, and I'll definitely intake on that technique that she uses because that is very helpful.
So for Theresa's look, I really wanted to do that very nice glowy bronzy look, so I've used the NARS Natural Radiant Foundation, which I think has that really nice glow but definitely has that like medium to full coverage finish, and then I just basically apply that all over her face and definitely down the neck as well. We really want to bring things down the neck because our little friend doesn't get much sun, so we want to add a little bit of color but also avoid having that harsh foundation line as well.
So Alex used a kabuki brush from Real Techniques. It's got that density but also that bit of fluff to get that seamless skin look. And then now she's also gone in with a concealer to highlight my face, but as well using that same foundation brush to get that seamless look where the highlights of my face are blended throughout my foundation color. I definitely think that's important as well because you also want to make sure that the highlights of your face are blended well within your skin, and because she wants that glowy look on my face, she's making sure it is all blended seamlessly. I love that. I love that she's used that technique on me, and I'll definitely take that within my own practice. And what I also love is right here is how she's pulled out the highlight to the temples of my face and making sure my, I guess, face looks a bit more snatched in a way, to make sure the highlight is not just under my eyes but also towards the temples of my face.
Now the next step is the fun bit. We're going to add a bit of dimension to Theresa's face now. So as you can see, I'm using a flat foundation brush, which I actually love using when it comes to contouring, because one, it helps target the areas that I want to contour, and two, it applies the product in quite a dense way, so that way I'm not having to go back and forth with a fluffy brush. With more of a packed brush, you're really getting the product onto the face and eliminating wasting your time having to apply back and forth with a more fluffier brush.
So she's also gone back here with that same foundation brush to get that seamless look, and making sure the highlight underneath my sculpted contour is really sharp and precise with that same little buffer brush. And what I loved about that is to make sure using those two types of density brushes really makes a difference when you're applying highlight and contour, because you want your foundation to still seep through. You don't want 3 different colors on your face, and I find that so important, and I really love the way she's applied that to my face.
Obviously, once we've done all the creams and wet products, I'm now obviously tapping on and setting the makeup, and I'm also coming in with like a highlighting color and going underneath the contour, and then obviously down the nose and on top of the cheekbone as well.
So she also loves Hourglass products. The Ambient Powder palette, is that right?
Yes,
yeah.
It's a limited edition, guys, so you may not be able to get it, sorry.
I've actually got 2 versions of it as well. Not that I need any more, but I really am looking forward to what the Christmas special might be this year with their palette. So if you are on the hunt for one, keep your eye out at Mecca stores, because it is definitely worth the bang of your buck, because you get your contour color, you get an ambient highlighting color, you get a blush, and you can get more of a subtle glow as well. It's a very versatile product.
So with this Hourglass palette, I've set Theresa's face by bronzing, putting on blush, and also highlighting the face as well. I think it's a really good palette to have in your kit, just for like all-in-one.
Time saving, making sure you get the most of your money value as well, because it is a high quality product. So yeah, definitely look into it, guys. So Alex is now going into my brows. So what is very different to the way I do eyes and brows first, whereas she does the base first, which is very interesting to me, but I'm still obsessed with the way it turned out. So she's just going to quickly explain the process she does onto my brows and why she does it.
I love that you noticed that I've done the base first before eyes. So I guess it kind of just depends on the artist, but because it's such an easy minimal look, I just do the base first, so that way I can kind of just sort of figure out what kind of look I'm gonna do with Theresa, and obviously I'm going to be doing a bronzy look anyway, so I think minimal fallout, so I won't really need to do the eyes first, as comparative to having like a glam look where you might have a little bit more fallout with more the darker colors as well. But I do eyebrows next, just to sort of shape the eyes first, and then just give me an idea of like what kind of like look or the way that I'm going to be doing eyeshadow on Theresa's eyes.
So Alex is just applying some eye base onto my eyelids just to get the pigment of the eyeshadow as much as possible. Alex is just going to quickly explain which eye base she's used and what makeup brush she's used.
So I've used a light shade of the NARS eye primer on Theresa's eyes. It is a little bit light, as you can see. However, it will help with like pigment on the eyes and kind of sort of like highlight in a way as well, because I'm bringing it all the way up to the brows.
And obviously you've also got to set that with a bit of powder, and she's just quickly cleaning my nose contour. Yay! We will love the snatched nose. So moving on, she is using a fluffy eyeshadow brush to go in with a transition color. So what color did you use on my eyelids?
So I've used the NARS Skin Deep palette, and I'm obviously using the lightest shade in the palette. I'm not too sure what the name is, unfortunately, but my rule of thumb when it comes to building up to a smoky eye is always start with the lightest shade in the palette.
So as you can see, Alex is using circular motions, but with the smoky eye look, she is mainly basing the color on the corners of my eyes and blending it out towards the end of my brow. So the way I interpret this technique is to create a very accentuated sort of look, especially with my eye shape. You really want to focus on if a person has like a hooded eye, or they have a eyelid space that is more generous than usual, and she is just making sure she's shaping my eye the best way possible with that transition shade, as well as the darker shade she used from that same palette. And with that smaller brush she's used, she is blending that into the transition shade to make sure it's a seamless look.
It is really important for the eye look to be all blended into one color. So even if you're using about 4 or 5 shades, you really just want it to look like you've done maybe 2. So I've done the darker shade in the last half of her eye, and I've used more of a smaller brush to get really detailed into the look as well. And it's also important to bring the eyeshadow underneath the eye as well, just to complete the look. And to make it a little bit more smokier, you definitely bring in that darker shade in the last half of her eye. You can bring it all the way in, however, I don't want to close Theresa's eyes at all, so I'm just kept it to the last half of her eye, as you can see. Next up is the fun bit, adding the nice shimmer to the rest of the eye. So you're just using a nice flat eyeshadow brush just on that first half of the eye as well. And then just to keep the look nice and soft, I also came in with a flat, I don't even know how to call it,
it's like a flat defined liner brush. So she's using that brush to bring in a bit of smoke to my lash line and prepping that for a seamless look into some fake eyelashes that she's about to apply. And it also gives that detail when I open my eyes. You get that blend of the liner into my shimmer, and this part was like really confronting to me because I'm usually the one who does it to other people, and I'm not used to it doing to me from other people. It's such a different experience, but we got there. So she's obviously just going back in, and I think, you know, rule is when in doubt, blend it out whenever you're not sure, and just making sure you are really happy with the eyeshadow look before you apply your lashes, because lashes just accentuate and reflect on what is on the eye base there. So Alex is just going to quickly say what lashes she's used on me now.
I've used the individual lashes from HAVA Beauty. I actually really like that brand. They're very environmentally conscious, so they use a lot of recyclables as well, so I think that's always a plus. And I'm pretty much doing the individuals all across the eyes. So to give that more feline look too, I've done the longer lashes at the outer end of the eye, and then as I'm going into the inner corner part of the eye, I use more of a smaller individual lash as well.
So to finish off the look, she's just going back into the contour, making sure it's super defined before she sets my face, and using that same foundation brush she used to sculpt my cheekbones, and then going back in with the ambient powder. And this lip combo she did on me is fabulous, so she's just going to quickly explain that as well.
So with Theresa's lips, I'm pretty much keeping it quite close to her lip color, but just a little bit more. Thankfully she had like a lip liner that I could use, because I did not have one in my kit, unfortunately. So the best tip when it comes to lining the lips is definitely going from bottom to top. The reason being is that you're more likely to give yourself more of a rounded look to the lips, as opposed to going from top to bottom, where you're more likely to sort of cut off the lip, if that makes sense.
So Alex just used her own lip liner here, but it wasn't as dark enough as she would have liked from her kit. We ended up using a Chi Chi Cosmetics waterproof liner from my makeup room. I will put the color down in the description below, and she just used that color over the liner she just put on my face. And then she just made me pucker my lips together to make sure the two colors were blended within my lips, and then she just went in with like a Bobbi Brown lip lacquer nude. It will be linked down below as well. And I like that she uses a brush and her fingers just to make sure it's more seamlessly blended. And yeah, I puckered my lips again. And she just went in with my mascara, the L'Oreal Voluminous, and yeah, this is the look done, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. So I hope you enjoyed this video of Alex putting some nice, lovely products on me. I'm low-key hangry right now. That's probably why I can't think. But she will list me the products and I will pop them down below. She works at Mecca, so I will also link that as well. And yeah, I can't say enough about this look. Like, I love it so much.
Easy canvas to work on.
Yeah, and I've also done her beautiful makeup, so I'm super excited to do more videos with you, actually.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually want to do more videos of her, probably more than just makeup, but
Ooh.
yeah, super excited. I've actually got another part where I do her makeup, so I will post that after this video. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video.
Do it.
Shh.